So, Greg, how it all started with Hilltop Forest? Both you and Tia worked in the finance sector before, and then you made a whole U-turn to start your own micro-resort to Inko.
Yeah, so we came up with this idea about sort of starting our own business, and that was where it started. But then the idea of Hilltop Forest sort of crystallized after that we both were really drawn to hospitality. We both loved traveling, staying in nice hotels, and actually exploring different hotel and accommodation concepts. And then we traveled a lot with work, and then we kind of had this idea, I guess a little bit arrogantly maybe, but we kind of thought that we could do it a little bit better ourselves than some things that we saw. We were like, but hang on, maybe we know enough about design and about sort of, you know, getting it done, and just these travel philosophies that we had developed. We wanted to be sort of genuinely sustainable. A lot of companies say they're sustainable, but we were like, no, if we're going to set up our own place, it's going to be sustainable. So we came to William with our fantastic idea. We wanted to work with Studio Puisto because we had seen their credentials around hospitality. And we gave him the pitch that we were changing our lives. We were stepping out of the corporate world, and we were going to set up our own boutique resort, and we had bought this fantastic plot in Inko.
Juho, would you like to tell us about Space of Mind and what is it?
I guess essentially Space of Mind is a dedicated space that can be just as well used for thinking and concentrating, as well as relaxing and unwinding. I mean, it's a pretty compact 10 square meter cabin, so it can be moved relatively easily. So it can be used in a backyard or in a courtyard or maybe on a rooftop, or even in a remote location in nature. Because of its modular nature, it can be used as accommodation, an office, a gym, or even a sauna, and it can be used as a micro-hospitality solution, as Craig and Tia have done, or it could be used by a private consumer for the multitude of reasons somebody might have to just have a space of mind, so to say.
Willem, why was Space of Mind initially created?
A place to escape, to rewind, to focus on beautiful locations. And to have it on beautiful locations, it needs to be portable, it needs to be light, you have to be able to move it easily. And I think yours is actually a great example because you really put it deep in the forest.
What kind of experiences is there, and what kind of feedback have you gotten from there?
Design as a space of mind when you step inside, and it's sort of very clean and very crisp. But when it's sort of pushed 50 meters into a really like rugged Finnish forest and on the edge of a cliff in a lot of our cases, you know, it creates an experience that people remember. It's not just like going to your hotel room either up a corridor, but you have to find it. Yeah. And like anything, you appreciate it more if you have to put the work in.
Space of Mind is one of the smallest projects of Studio Puisto, but it has gained a lot of national and international visibility. What does that mean for Studio Puisto?
Why it is so popular is that, and maybe that is partly due to Corona, that life is pretty complicated as we know it, and we're looking for this simple life in all of us. And of course you don't want it in reality, but you could do it during the weekend or when you're traveling or on holiday. And maybe it's captured with one image, that building, you understand it, but there's a twist to it. So there's tension, but it's simple, it's easy to understand, but complicated. And I think that's somehow why like much bigger projects of ours get much less attention, because it's more complicated to tell that story and harder to capture in one image. And I think that's the strength of it, that size apparently doesn't matter. It's the feeling that it represents more. Like you don't even maybe have to necessarily travel to one to kind of get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit crazy that we only launched Hilltop Forest really to the public domain in sort of April time, and the sort of traction that we've got in 3 months of operations has been, you know, what we really hoped for, but being from a financial background, it's probably not what we put in the business plan. So we're sort of really happy with how it's going. We've had a sold out summer. I mean, naturally, we're having some discussions about if we would add more space of mines. We're going to expand the food service a little bit. There's going to be sort of more of a dining restaurant, which we want to grow that bit of the business for non-staying guests, as well as just offering a sort of a different space for people to dine in.
Thanks so much for this insight, and thanks for coming today.
Yeah.
Really nice to see you.
Yes.